Tour is one of the most anticipated tours of the year. Rarely do two bands this hugely successful tour together. By the end of their 25-show U.S. tour, Guns N' Roses and Metallica will have played to over 800,000 people.
Next up on the unending Guns itinerary was a co-headlining summer tour with the band's hard rock pals in Metallica, an outing that kicked off on July 17th in Washington, D.C.
I mean, basically, how we hooked up was that we both had the same lawyer back here in L.A. in like 87, 88. And, hi, Peter. And he said to me, there's these guys in this new band called Guns N' Roses. This is before the record came out, before Appetite came out. There's these guys in L.A. that you got to hook up with because they have the same attitude, and you guys will get along with them really well. So we hooked up with Slash and stuff way before their first record came out.
There's something very Spinal Tap about this whole thing.
We're good friends with those guys and stuff, and we've got it worked out. So it's going to be, it's going to be a cool thing for everybody. It's not going to be like Guns N' Roses is headlining and Metallica's opening. It's going to be, Metallica and Guns N' Roses, and they're going to do their full set. We're going to do our full set, and then who knows what'll happen after the end of that? Probably something cool.
With Metallica doing its normal 3-hour show and Guns doing 3 hours plus an opening set by Faith No More, this was a show designed for hardcore rock addicts only.
And they play 3 hours, and we play just over 3 hours, so it'll start early.
On the road right now with Metallica doing our American Stadium Tour. Right. And basically what it is, we have 2 days off, so we came to do this, and then we're back out on the road right after this. The audience, in some places they're good, some places they're bad. It depends on, if it's a working night or not. Mm-hmm. But, it's hard. Faith No More comes out, plays for almost an hour. Right. Set change. Metallica plays their full set with their full stage and lights at the headlining show. Right. Then there's a break, and then we come out and play our full set, full headlining show.
One of the big things I learned was that everybody had wanted this tour so bad and worked so hard to make it to be able to do this tour, Metallica through their touring and through our touring, to be able to do a stadium tour together, that we thought that when we got here it'd just be perfect, be so cool. Well, it kind of turned out to be that, wait a minute, this is so cool that why shouldn't this be the hardest thing we've ever done?